Top 10 Seiko Watches to Buy Not Born from Aristocracy. Not crafted in the ivory towers of Swiss haute horlogerie, but forged in the workshops of a nation that values discipline, precision, and purpose. Japan's answer to timekeeping mediocrity came in the form of a quiet revolution, tick by tick, gear by gear, until the world had no choice but to pay attention. Seiko is not just a brand, it's a philosophy. It's the idea that excellence should be accessible, that innovation belongs in the hands of the many, not the few. From the first quartz wristwatch to the mechanical marvels of the Grand Seiko line, Seiko has proven again and again that it doesn't chase trends, it builds legacies. This isn't just a list. This is a journey, a countdown of 10 Seiko timepieces that every collector, enthusiast, and newcomer should know. Watches that redefine value, crush expectations, and whisper one truth into the ear of every rival. We are not here to follow. We are here to lead. So strap in. Whether you're a desk diver, a seasoned traveler, or someone discovering horology for the first time, welcome to the ultimate Seiko lineup. Ranked 10th, Seiko Presage. Cocktail Time, SRPB 43, a toast to timelessness. In a quiet Tokyo bar, where the bartender's hands move like ballet and the atmosphere hums with quiet jazz, there exists a moment where time slows, the light dims just right, and the drink glows under its ice. That moment lives forever inside the SRPB 43. Nicknamed Cocktail Time, this watch is an ode to elegance without extravagance. Its dial, a silver blue sunburst so intricate it ripples like stirred vermouth, echoes the sophistication of a well-made martini. The pressed glass pattern isn't just for looks. It mimics the delicate etching of crystal glassware, inviting you to lean in, look closer, feel more. Sharp Dauphine hands glide above faceted hour markers, conducting a silent sonata. Inside beats the 4R35 automatic movement, hand-winding, hacking, with a 41-hour power reserve. Not haute horlogerie, but that's the point. This is a watch for those who appreciate art without artifice. It doesn't demand attention. It earns it, one sip, one tick, one glimmer at a time. Why it made the list? Because it's not just a dress watch, it's the distilled spirit of Japanese finesse, served in steel. Ranked 9th, Seiko Alpinist, SARB 017, the compass for the quiet explorer. Some watches are forged for war, others for ballroom opulence, but the SARB 017 was born for paths less traveled. This modern heir of Seiko's original 1961 Alpinist series doesn't look like a field watch. Its forest green sunburst dial, gold cathedral hands, and internal compass bezel whisper more symphony than survival. But underneath that dressy disguise is a rugged soul ready to hike through frost-laced valleys and misty mountain trails. With the 6R15 automatic movement inside and 200 meters water resistance, it's not merely a nod to heritage, it's a badge of resilience. Every scratch tells a story. Every glance reveals a new shade of green. And though discontinued, its legend only grows, because those who've worn it understand. The true pathfinders don't need maps. They only need a bearing. This isn't just a tool, it's an heirloom for the adventurer at heart. The double crowns offer utility and a nostalgic aesthetic, while the compact case sits firm yet unintrusive on the wrist. Wear it on a leather strap for boardroom elegance or swap in NATO for weekend wilderness. Either way, it speaks volumes without making a sound. Why it made the list? Because it's more than a timepiece. It's a talisman for those who explore. Ranked 8th, Seiko Presage. Skydiving, SRPB 43, where elegance meets atmosphere. Imagine a cocktail that captures the color of the sky just after sunset, soft, fleeting, blue-tinted with twilight. That's the SRPB 43 Skydiving. Though technically a variant of the Cocktail Time, this piece earns its own place for sheer visual poetry. The guilloche-style radial dial catches light like no other, shifting moods with every tilt. A domed hardlex crystal magnifies its charm, making each glance feel like looking through an old-world martini glass. Inside, the reliable 4R35 movement keeps things steady, ensuring that this isn't just a pretty face. The case hugs the wrist at 40.5 millimeters with elegance, and the slender profile makes it a perfect dress companion. What elevates it beyond its siblings is its serenity, the way it doesn't just mark time, but evokes it. Wearing it feels like sipping dusk through a glass rimmed with nostalgia. Why it made the list? Because beauty doesn't need to shout. Sometimes it only needs to shimmer. Ranked 7th, Seiko Turtle SRP 777, the everyday diver's legacy reimagined. Rugged, recognizable, and remarkably wearable, the Seiko Turtle SRP 777 is a legend reborn. This isn't just a tool watch, it's a love letter to every diver who braved uncharted waters and every collector who values a classic reimagined. The Turtle nickname comes from its cushion-shaped case, rounded like a shell, yet sturdy like a fortress. At 44.3 millimeters, it seems large on paper, but its curved design molds to the wrist like a well-worn wetsuit. You don't just wear the SRP 777, you partner with it. Its dial layout is bold and efficient. Clear white indices packed with Seiko's renowned Lumibrite. Thick sword hands that never leave you guessing, and a day-date complication at 3 o'clock. Legibility is king here, even in the murky blue depths. The unidirectional bezel, tactile and reassuring, is made for serious timing, whether underwater or in daily life. Inside ticks the 4 R36 automatic movement, durable, hackable, hand-windable, and relentlessly reliable. This engine isn't just a heartbeat, it's a battle drum. And then there's the legacy. The SRP 777 revives the spirit of Seiko's 6309 from the 1970s, an icon among divers and soldiers alike. It's a revival that doesn't just reference the past, it honors it. It builds upon it. Why it made the list? Because the Turtle isn't just about nostalgia. It's about evolution. Proof that true design survives because it works. Ranked 6th, Seiko Presage Honeycomb, SRPB 46. The gentleman's hourglass, refined. Some watches don't measure time, they savor it. The SRPB 46 is such a piece, offering not just utility, but atmosphere. It's the warm crackle of vinyl in a jazz lounge, the scent of cologne on a linen collar, the slow swirling of cognac in a crystal tumbler. This Presage entry presents a rose gold-plated case wrapped around an amber-brown sunburst dial. But look closer. The honeycomb texture breathes with depth, catching light in ever-changing patterns. Like the facets of an old gemstone, it transforms depending on where and when you look. At 40.5 millimeters, it straddles presence and poise. Domed hardlex glass lends it an old-world softness, while the Dauphine hands and golden indices add razor-sharp contrast. There's no clutter, just simplicity honed to elegance. Turn it over, and the exhibition case back reveals the 4 R35 automatic movement, ticking away with gentle precision. It's not about showcasing raw mechanics, it's about harmony, a movement that flows in step with the life you lead. Worn with a leather strap, it completes its tale, refined but unpretentious, nostalgic but modern. Whether under the sleeve of a dinner jacket or paired with a cashmere turtleneck, the SRPB 46 becomes part of your story. Why it made the list? Because this isn't just a watch, it's a love letter to life's quieter, richer hours. Ranked 5th, Seiko Prospex, Captain Willard SPB 151, the adventurer's companion. Not all icons wear crowns, some wear mud, sweat, and scars. The Seiko SPB 151, a modern tribute to the legendary 6105 diver, worn by Martin Sheen's Captain Willard in Apocalypse Now, doesn't just carry a name, it carries a legacy. This isn't a design plucked from nostalgia, it's a resurrection of grit. The SPB 151's asymmetrical case bulges protectively around its crown, not as ornamentation, but as battlefield armor. Its 42.7 millimeter cushion case curves gently, hugging the wrist like a compass meant to guide the lost. Don't be fooled by its cinematic pedigree. This isn't Hollywood fantasy. Soldiers in Vietnam wore its predecessor not for status, but for survival. The olive green dial is subdued, almost whispering beneath the sapphire crystal. But it doesn't have to shout. Its lumi-bright indices scream in the dark. The 6R35 movement ticks steadily within, offering a robust 70-hour power reserve, ready to march on even after the wearer rests. Its unidirectional bezel is clean and clicky, not flashy. Paired with either a retro rubber strap or a steel bracelet, the SPB151 is amphibious in more than one sense. It transitions from wilderness to whiskey bar without losing purpose. It's not about finesse, it's about functionality, and how that functionality becomes legend over time. Why it ranks here? Because some watches are built in factories. This one feels like it was built in foxholes. Ranked fourth, Seiko Presage Sharp-Edged Series, ERS PB167, the samurai in a suit. A man walks into a room, not with noise but presence. That's the SPB167. It's not brash, it doesn't dazzle, but it captivates. With its deep indigo dial patterned in the ancient Asanoha motif, this watch doesn't just tell time, it tells a cultural story. At just under 40 millimeters, it wears like a statement made in hushed tones. Every line is deliberate, every edge honed, like a katana forged for diplomacy. Seiko's precision polishing, the crisp Dauphine hands, and the clarity of its sapphire crystal all converge to create a watch that's equal parts sophistication and steel. But to truly understand the SPB167, you have to appreciate the depth of the Asanoha pattern, an ancient hemp leaf motif that has adorned Japanese textiles for centuries. It symbolizes vitality, strength, and growth. The pattern stamped into the dial isn't just decoration, it's legacy embedded. The 6R35 automatic movement offers 70 hours of power reserve, ensuring not only performance but consistency, a reflection of the wearer's discipline. The case features a finely brushed surface, accented by mirror-polished edges that play with the light. There's a symmetry here, a balance of hard and soft, that evokes the elegance of Japanese architecture. Its understated nature doesn't make it plain, it makes it timeless. You could wear the SPB167 in a boardroom, a wedding, or a diplomatic summit. It never shouts. It never fades. It endures, as all great designs do. Why it earns its place? Because real elegance doesn't announce itself. It arrives quietly and commands the room. And when it's gone, you remember it. Not for how loud it was, but for how deeply it spoke. Ranked third, Seiko Prospex LX-SNR029. The Depth King's crown. Most dive watches are made for the desk-bound dreamer. The SNR029 is for the real ones. The saturation divers, the engineers, the men and women who slip into black suits not for style, but for survival. It's built from titanium, lightweight, tough, and immune to corrosion. Its design is stealthy yet bold, reflecting the DNA of true tool watches. The 44.8mm case feels lighter than expected thanks to its titanium composition, but don't mistake that for fragility. This watch is built like a tank, designed to withstand 300 meters of pressure in the deep ocean. Its Zaratsu polished surfaces are distortion-free mirrors of craft, silently elevating its utilitarian form. But it's what's inside that elevates the SNR029 to myth. The spring drive 5R65 movement. It's a hybrid movement, one that unites the soul of mechanical watchmaking with the brains of quartz regulation. The result? An ultra-smooth seconds hand that glides, not ticks, like a predator beneath the surface. It's eerily calm, hauntingly accurate, plus or minus 1 second per day. From its luminous markers to the bezel that clicks like a submarine hatch, every inch of this timepiece is built with intent. Even the strap buckle is engineered to micro-adjust, so you can wear it over a wetsuit or a cuff with perfect fit. Why it dominates? Because this isn't a desk diver. It's a professional's tool. The Depth King's crown is not about status. It's about surviving pressure and thriving within it. Ranked second, Grand Seiko BGA211. Snowflake, the silence that moves time. Imagine silence. Now imagine it flowing. That's the Grand Seiko Snowflake. Named for the breathtaking texture of its white dial, this watch isn't just inspired by nature. It is nature, rendered in titanium and timekeeping. The SBGA 211 captures the stillness of winter in Shinshu, where Grand Seiko's studio peers out across snow-covered mountains. The dial, soft and irregular, mimics the subtle variance of freshly fallen snow. It's light, but it carries weight. Not physical weight, emotional weight. Its high-intensity titanium case is 30% lighter than steel and finished to a brilliance through Zaratsu polishing, the traditional Japanese technique that turns hard metal into mirrored elegance. But inside is the true marvel, the spring drive 9R65 movement. With a power reserve of 72 hours and a deviation of plus or minus 1 second per day, it's as disciplined as it is graceful. And then there's the seconds hand. It doesn't jump, it doesn't twitch, it flows, like water down a mountainside, like thought through the mind of a monk. The movement isn't just a function, it's a philosophy. Why it almost tops the list? Because it represents the harmony of opposites, mechanical and quartz, hard and soft, silence and motion. It's not just a watch, it's a meditation. In first place, Grand Seiko SLGA 021 Lake Suwa, where time and nature breathe as one. There are watches that impress, watches that inspire, and then there is the SLGA 021. The dial alone tells a story deeper than most memoirs. Inspired by the tranquil, ever-shifting surface of Lake Suwa, it reflects light and shade like waves stirred by evening wind. The texture is tactile, the color deep, a twilight blue that shifts as the light does, making every glance feel like a new moment. At 40 millimeters, its case is Zaratsu polished stainless steel, sculpted with perfect symmetry. Its bracelet isn't just comfortable, it's an extension of your wrist, a continuation of thought, of breath, of presence. Underneath lies the 9RA2 spring drive, Grand Seiko's most advanced movement yet, 120-hour power reserve, plus or minus 10 seconds per month, a slimmer profile than previous spring drives, and yet stronger. It's the kind of movement that doesn't ask you to understand it. It asks you to trust it. Even the rotor tells a story, its minimal decoration reflecting Japanese design principles of simplicity and space. The kind of quiet perfection you don't notice at first, but once you do, you can't look away. Why it leads the list? Because it is not a watch. It is a horizon captured under glass, a breath of lake air, a whisper from the deep, and for those who wear it, it is not time they carry, it is peace. Time, they say, is the most valuable thing we have. But what if it's not just time that matters? What if it's how we choose to measure it? From the deep-sea defiance of the Prospex Marine Master to the poetic stillness of the Grand Seiko Lake Suwa, we haven't just explored watches. We've explored stories of innovation, of endurance, of quiet mastery shaped by Japanese hands and guided by a reverence for the natural world. Seiko doesn't build watches to impress the crowd. It builds them to connect deeply, silently with the wearer. That's what makes these 10 timepieces worth more than their price tags. They're reflections of purpose, and for some, echoes of identity. Which one spoke to you? Which one made your heart pause for just a second longer? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more journeys through time, craftsmanship, and the stories that tick beneath the surface, like, subscribe, and ring the bell.